fine. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. So much to talk about the Arctic convoy that had me with my palms very sweaty. And actually, as we're talking, my palms are sweaty as I'm kind of thinking about it right now. Since the
That's
beginning,
good.
since
Thank
the
you.
beginning, you had us like in a little mini roller coaster. I was staying still for the characters, not moving.
hmm
So tell me about how you worked out that magic and including the camera work because you even had us feeling like we're moving.
Well, when I got the script, the producers called me 2, 3 years ago, and they had this script. Before this film, I've only done films that I've written myself. So this is not the first time I've directed a film that I didn't write myself. And I found the film. It's this, it's a plot. It's based on true events, and also um it's historical facts. It's kind of like you have to take care of that and do it in a proper way. At the same time, for me it was important to kind of focus on the human, what's it called, like the human condition, both physical and mentally. So focus on the actors, focus on the how they were affected by staying in this extreme situation. So working with the actors and also my brother, who's the DOP, the cinematographer, do this to kind of like create this tense setting and also make it as human and as like, accessible and as truthful and emotional, I guess, without like doing it too much, like to keep it in a, what's it called, like in grounded way. It was very important to me. So I worked that was my main focus going into this film, to kind of do justice to those who served on the sea during World War II. There was a lot of Norwegians that did that as well. And that was my main focus, to kind of to take the audience on this roller coaster without losing the heart of the film, which is these few men on board on this ship. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Norwegian cast. And one of my favorites was one of the supporting characters was Johan.
hmm
I feel like he didn't say much, but he said enough to show his how vulnerable he was, but yet so strong and brave.
I agree. I thank you. I thank you for saying that. I think Adam, who played that character, he's a brilliant actor, and that character in the script, he was kind of not next to nothing, but it was quite small in the script. So we worked on those few scenes he had. He's a lot of on deck, by the cannon there, but the few scenes, the few like more dialogue scenes he had, we worked quite um closely together to find a way into this character, and that's a testament to his talent, I guess. It's a very good actor.
And then we have, of course, the captain, Scar, and the first mate, Mork, which there's a bit of conflict, but huge learning lessons.
Absolutely, and you know, the same time as this is like this film takes place on this ship, we have this kind of power struggle, power conflict between the first mate and the captain. And that was also a thing I found very interesting about the script, that it focused on also the decisions they made and how the moral part of it, like the how it's never black and white. It's different gray zones in a way. So it's that was also very interesting to work with actors and to work with the script writers and to kind of find a way to make that accessible and as kind of like also kind of like something that drove the film in a way. That's like a motor in the film. It was very interesting, and also I think people, when they see the film, they can discuss. There's nothing right or wrong in a way, but they have, some people understand Scar's motivation and some others understand Merrick's motivation to make those choices they make. So that's interesting, I think.
Equipment, the gear. I had no idea there were floating mines. That is very new to me. I had no idea. And bringing that into the film.
Yeah, that was something, there was a lot of mines outside the Norwegian coast at that time during World War II. not that far as that's unusual, but it was a lot of mines outside the coastline, and some of them, like they moved further north because of the sea and stuff. So that was also a danger, apart from the submarines, of course, and all the airplanes. So yeah, that's a tense and important, like, set piece in the film. As you've seen the film, you watched the film, you know that. But that was quite difficult to make that scene, because it's a combination of doing stunts on the sea, which is very dangerous, and also technically complicated for the camera crew and everything. But it was very intense, and also very fun to do that, and also to show that part of, you know, how dangerous there is on the sea during World War II. Yeah.
And then what about bringing in the weapons that were used by Johan? I mean, were they duplicates? Are they originals?
Originals. Yeah, we got from that kind of used is from a museum that they brought it for us. Yeah.
Oh wow. Who would have known that those weapons that were used to save their lives would now be used to get us to envision what it was like?
True, that's true. Yeah, that's special. Absolutely.
Can we talk also about how the story goes, and how the ideas, like we were talking about before, between the captain and the first mate, and how the idea of maintaining the course to save lives? I mean, it kind of does make sense, but then it can also mean suicide.
Exactly. No, it's, as I talked about this, you know, they're on a mission. They're there to deliver all these weapons, all this cargo to the Eastern Front, to their allied, which was at the point at that time was, of course, the Soviet Union. And you know, is this when the whole convoy is being split up, it's a whole new ball game, you know. So being in that position or that situation, what's the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do, and the whole film is kind of like situated about, or around that situation in a way. So yeah, well, it's if they're going to like go back to Iceland, to the safe harbor, they're not necessarily, you know, safe either way. So it's a very difficult situation. Yeah.
So how did you get the setup to film the scenes where everything's white, the Arctic part, all the storm? I mean, it looked beautifully done.
It's a combination of, you know, we did a lot of, or the film it's shot on sea outside Ålesund, which is like in the middle of Norway, in the North Sea, and some of it is outside Gothenburg in Sweden, which is more like calm waters. And we also built the ship on land, or on, you know, to do all those explosions and all those kind of dangerous stuff as well. And we built of course the inside of the ship in a studio. So it's all of these scenes are based on different locations, and on SFX, special effects, and the ice part is mostly digital, because we shot this film during late spring. But some of this, like the snow part, is like real snow. We had real snow for that, like no special effects. It's like real, falling from the sky. So it's like but it's difficult to kind of like to plan for having snow, you know. So we was kind of lucky to get that. But so it's a combination of special effects and visual effects and real snow. Yeah.
And what about the shots when you have like the plane like kind of hitting towards the boat? Because I mean, you didn't have a lot of planes going on at once. So did that give you a chance to use a real plane?
No, all of those planes are digital, so that all of the planes are CGI, but at the same time, all the hits on the ship is real stuff. That's real explosions. So it's a combination of special effects and also CGI, that part as well.
You had several strong scenes with exchange of dialogue. Which one would you say was your favorite?
Good question. Actually, I think the scene between Johan and Sigurd, the young guy, with the turtle at some point when they get this tattoo. It's like I haven't experienced that before. This is, in a way, we had like we shot that scene the last day and we had so little time to do it. And when I saw the first assembly of the cut, it's like it's exactly the same edit of that scene that's in the final film, and it's like the first take. It's a very special. It was there, and I felt it while we were shooting it, and that's my favorite scene. I think of the dialogue part, like between those two characters, and it's so kind of simple, but also so it goes so deep at the same time.
Yeah, that was pretty touching, you know, kind of Johan, like you're part of the team. We're in this together.
Exactly. And learning about his brother and kind of Sigurd is now his new brother. It's very, and it's said so simple in a way, but also, yeah, as I said, it's emotional. Yeah.
And the captain and First Mate had two good ones. I think it's the one where the captain Mensch brings up the last time that he was, on the boat out in sea and how the outcome came, like, don't mention it. And then the other one, they're both after in the film and kind of had that heart-to-heart talk. Because that was strong, talking about family.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Those are strong scenes. I agree. Yeah.
Well, that just tells us how we end up creating our own family wherever we feel more at home.
Agree, exactly. That's so true. Yeah.
And that's what I liked about your film, because you are touching on those people that were out there, but we don't really talk about. These were pretty much like more on the civilian side versus to part of the military. They were just trying to help and help save lives.
Exactly. They had none military training, none of them. Johan, of course, had some in terms of, handling and having the cannon. But apart from that, all of those people were just ordinary sailors with no military experience. So it's going out to war and being forced to do it. It's a big sacrifice. And also, some of those people, a lot of them, were never the same again. And it's so important to tell those stories, I think.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I enjoyed your film. I decided to.
Thank you so much.
The evening I watched your film is the evening I also had the chance to watch Deadpool, and I was like, declining Deadpool. This has more content.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You take care. Bye-bye.